and welcome to The Blender on scenestr TV. Scenestr is Australia's only national street press group, and this is our web show of goings-on from around the country and beyond. First up, Dasha speaks with Indigenous rapper, comedy writer, actor, and children's book author, Briggs.
And his adorable puppy, Carmela.
Hey, pup. Thank you.
Yeah, she can hear.
Hello.
She's very cute. She's very blonde. All right. Get me somebody.
Good girl.
She's Carmela from Sopranos.
Excellent.
Before I got into making the album, I wanted to just drop 6 joints that could each stand on their own and that were each kind of representative of the EP and kind of where I'm heading. We were working on the album at the same time as the EP.
One track that really stands out in terms of the sound and how different it is Good Morning. I really enjoyed the amazing collaboration you had. Is it with Mookie?
Yeah, she's such a talent. Trials and we wrote that one. It was the last thing that we wrote when we were in Los Angeles last year. The same night there was a Misfits reunion concert. It was it was Trials last night. Let's jump in the studio and do some work. I can see the Misfits reunite another time. To get Mookie involved on it was such a no-brainer. We wanted it to be a little bit more light and a little bit fun.
Another track that really stands out is Go to War. It kind of really plays that aggressiveness of the lyrics and the sound with Thelma Plum's vocals. I think that's so beautifully done.
Go to War is probably the oldest track on there. When stuff hits COVID and stuff, it kind of puts a bit of a dampener on things. But we were carving it up in the studio, and I was like, we need a female vocal on this track just to offset it. I always like to have one of those joints on my album or on my release that is just a hip hop, rap track that's just, just about punching people in their face. I've really explored more songwriting rather than just rapping for the sake of rapping. Those 2 tracks that you mentioned are my 2 favorites. I know it could be perceived as a little bit jarring.
So just last month, your children's book made it to the bestseller list. What inspired
you? I know,
right?
Yeah,
what could you not do?
Sleep. That's the only thing. Yeah, the kids' book was wild. I thought it was just going to be a cool thing to have. I didn't expect it to go crazy. We sold out of the first run within a month. Yeah, the book was I thought it'd be cool because I only really do cool things. But I didn't think it was going to be as impactful. It's not often I get to do endearing, nice things.
Yeah.
So to be able to do something that's kind of nice, it's refreshing, and I think people enjoy it. I knew all my fans were growing up and having kids and stuff as well, and so much of everything I was making around the time was what would I need as a kid? That kind of book, I just felt like it was missing from the shelves. It's a celebratory book that recognises the achievements of Indigenous Australians and heroes and their contributions to various industries and also a good reflection on what community means to us and our identity.
You've also been a writer on Matt Groening's Netflix show, obviously. Has that been? Have you been doing much on that recently?
I'll have an episode in the upcoming seasons. It's a great experience. It's a dream job. You couldn't ask for a better team, and they give you lunch when you're there. Lunch is always something to look forward to. It's fantastic. When I was there, they actually put Australian snacks in the snack room because I'm such a Vegemite fan.
Oh, that's super cute.
And it's really expensive in the States. So,
what was it like working with Tim Minchin for the Housefire collaboration earlier this year? How did that all come about?
Tim's my mate. So working with your friends is always a blast. We always wanted to work on something together, and it came up when I was cooking this track up with Trials. And I thought, hey, we should get Tim on it. And I reached out and I was like, hey, Tim, what do you reckon? And it was it was all for a good cause because we donated all the money from it. And, Tim's great to work with. He's good fun.
I just wanted to quickly touch on the video for Go to War as well. I just remembered that one. That kind of explores the concept of the dual identity projected onto Indigenous Australians. Can you tell me a bit more about this video and how it came together?
Well, it was directed by Tristan Edward and Selena Miles. The idea was about, exploring the concept of identity and how Australia reconciles that with themselves, and the fact of the black fella in the street that they might look down their nose at is the same black fella that they would applaud for their dancing and painting and culture practice. You know what I mean? Someone's identity can't be wrapped up because they're not wearing the outfit that you associate with that. We really wanted to touch on that and really try to break down those barriers of what people perceive as, the true Aboriginal experience.
Well, I want to thank you so much for your time today.
That's all right.
Good luck with your puppy. I hope she's not too punishing. It doesn't destroy too many things of yours. All right. Thanks so much. Have a great afternoon.
Take care.
Briggs' new solo EP, Always Was, is out now. He was also recently announced to be playing Bluesfest 2021. Adelaide indie pop singer-songwriter Stellie has just announced her debut self-titled EP after winning hearts at Big Sound last year. Mayana dials in with the rising star.
Welcome, Stellie.
Hi, thanks for having me.
No worries. You are coming out with a new self-titled EP soon, which is really exciting.
This EP I started writing a while ago. So the first track on their bedroom floor I wrote maybe 1.5 years ago, maybe even 2 years ago. And that was just a big, sad, love, brokenhearted kind of thing. And I think that stemmed the feel of this EP. It's got a bit of that heartbreak feel to it, but it's also got that kind of unconventional love, I guess, feel to it.
I guess from the writing stage right through to creating and recording and then releasing, what's that kind of journey been for you? Because it's been, like, as you said, in the last sort of 2 years, it's sort of all evolved.
I've done a lot of, like I said, bedroom floor I wrote just by myself in my bedroom.
On the bedroom floor?
Not quite on the bedroom floor, on the bedroom piano.
Okay,
on that piano over there. That was once in my bedroom. It stayed true to itself, but then it also got completely changed. Some of the other tracks were written in like full writing sessions and they were done within the day. Others were kind of half baked, half done, and I took them to Alex and we finished them. So it was a bit of everything, really.
As an artist, when do you know when the song's finished? Like, how do you know so like it's done?
When you hear it on the radio, that's when you know it's finished. It's so tricky, and I think until it's mixed, mastered, and sent out and you can't touch it, that's when it's done.
So coming from Big Sound last year where you featured up until now, how has that sort of journey been for you? It's been
pretty fun. It's been pretty crazy. Big Sound was it was the first interstate show I ever played. So I had never played outside of Adelaide and I had hardly played any shows in Adelaide at that point. Having those connections with the music industry, it felt, I think after that it just felt more real. Yeah, so I started writing more, I started playing more, and it all kind of snowballed from there, I guess. It's definitely made me a lot more business savvy, I think. I do quite enjoy the business side of music as well. I think it's very interesting. I don't have particular people that I aspire to sound like, I think. I want to sound like Stellie. But I do take a lot of influence from a lot of jazz music. So a lot of Ella Fitzgerald, Sarah Vaughan. I used to listen to a lot in high school and I absolutely loved them. Artists like Amy Winehouse. I love the way she writes her lyrics, the same way I like Lana Del Rey writes her lyrics, the same way I like Lorde writes her lyrics. I find it really more, when I listen to music, I really hone in on the lyrics rather than the music. A lot of people the other way around.
How do you, I guess, feel, about planning and forward sort of thinking with regards to your career at the moment?
I think the main thing to keep doing is just releasing music. I don't think it should stop for anything. So yeah, I think it's just, the plan is to just keep doing what I'm doing for the moment. And as soon as you can play shows. As soon as you can travel, but just take it as it comes, really. You've
definitely been tipped as one to watch. So I look forward to seeing your progress moving forward. Thanks for everything. And thanks for joining us on The Blender.
Thanks for the great chat.
Go to Stellie's shop. I love her jacket. If you guys know where she got it, put it in the comments below and I'll be sure to check it out. She's definitely a name to highlight though, having recently played with Lime Kuryal and Winston Surfshirt. Sydney Fringe is one of the country's largest arts festivals every year, and with current circumstances leaving things a little off balance, they've had to adapt and will be going forward as Global Fringe.
I caught up with CEO Kerri Glasscock to learn more.
Today I am joined by Sydney Fringe CEO Kerri Glasscock. So first things first, you're obviously having to pivot to streaming and an online format for Sydney Fringe this year due to COVID. So when did you know that it had to happen, and how has it been essentially creating a whole new vibe for this event?
It became clear very quickly that it was going to be impossible to put on Sydney Fringe 2020. Global Fringe definitely isn't a replacement as far as we consider. It's in fact a whole new project. You know, really unpicking some of those bigger conversations we've been having with our national and international Fringe festival friends and partners. Ordinarily, Fringes in general are open access. This project's been completely different. It's really been about a curation process. So we worked with our international festival partners. They shortlisted works that either they had presented in the last 6 months because they were fortunate enough to have had a real life show festival, or they were intending to present them digitally throughout the year. And so they shortlisted a bunch of work and then sent video files to us, and we selected work from those. So the 5 Sydney-based works, we started working with those companies really quite early. But of course, once COVID hit, it was a different idea. You know, first of all, it was let's still do it, but digitally only. And then a couple of months ago, it was like, hang on, okay, we might be able to do it in real life as well. So let's prepare for both of those things. It's a handcrafted, curated program of some of the best Sydney work and some of the best international work.
So how important is it to you and the Global Fringe team to provide opportunities for artists to be able to work during these times?
I mean, essentially, that's what Sydney Fringe does all year round anyway. Even outside of our festival, we're here to support our independent artists at Sydney. But during this time, it's even more important. As we know, the individual artist and the independent spaces have fallen through the cracks of government support and the support that are out there for COVID. When we talk about any pivot we've done this year, the pivots we have done have been about raising funds for our independent artists, ensuring that we've got paid commissions, that we do artist residencies, that we've got programs set throughout the rest of this year that in as small way as possible can make a bit of a difference to our Fringe artist community. We're not rolling around the bed in money. Any money we do have is going straight back out to artists and venues. We want to really give them an opportunity to be creative and explore a way so that they can create a really fantastic experience for the audience at home so they don't feel like they're missing out. So we've got a 2-pronged approach, which is what's really exciting about this. So certainly you can see the entire packet of shows from your, bed or lounge, even the ones that are live, performed live here at Old 505 Theatre, they'll be streamed live as well. And we've got a second tier of shows that'll be announced, some more international ones that'll be Uber live, so you might have to get up at 4 a.m, but it'll be fun. What else are we all doing at the moment?
Right.
4 of the Sydney works are being on for only 4 nights at Old 505 Theatre. So there's physical theatre, there's comedy, there's cabaret, there's straight up theatre, spoken word, almost beat poetry-esque work.
Nice.
There's sketch comedy, there's everything. Really for us, it was just about creating a program that had diversity of genre, but also diversity of style. There's this really lovely otherworldliness about all the shows that are presented in this program. And I think that must be something subliminal around the idea that our whole world's not normal at the moment anyway. We work every day in all the programs that we run and in our usual annual festival in trying to amplify marginalised voices and ensure that that we are truly open access, that we remove barriers to entry, and that we are supportive in any way we can. And we've always got more work to do on that, but we really do consider those things in all of our programming. It's really important for us that they are indicative of who we are as a city.
Is collaborating with Fringe events from far and beyond something that you think that you'd be looking to do again?
I think Global Fringe is here to stay, absolutely. I think there's something really interesting about this idea of being able to show a whole nother program of festival work that we wouldn't be able to get here otherwise.
Excellent. Well, I'm so looking forward to seeing this new chapter of Sydney Fringe, and I can't wait to see what it brings, not only this year, but hopefully in the future as well. So thanks so much for chatting with me, and congratulations on putting this together.
Thanks for having me.
Global Fringe kicks off in the first week of September. Comedian Steph Tisdell is having her show streamed online as part of a series of gigs over the coming weeks. Before you check that out, here's Steph with her top 5 impulse COVID purchases.
Hey, my name is Steph Tisdell, and I'm here to tell you the top 5 weird impulse buys to get during COVID. based on my own weird impulse buys. Number 5, it's a steam mop. I spent weeks researching this mop. I was like, no longer will I slave over a broomstick to clean my floors. From now I use the power of steam. Number 4, why not buy a full green screen setup even though you don't know how to edit green screen? It's just something good to do. I don't know what is going on. I just keep on buying stuff. Number 3, I got these on, I think, the second day of COVID. And I had very different plans to how my COVID has ended up. I'll be back in just a minute. Why not just a whole bunch of dress-up stuff? Like a beard, or maybe an old lady wig. Maybe just a whole box of dress-ups. I've barely used this stuff. I sleep a lot of the time. I don't know why I've got so many wigs. You'll be tempted to think that this is the number 1 purchase, but there is more. So, the number 2 best COVID impulse buy, tiny hands. I think it was 3 hours after the announcement that there was going to be a lockdown. I jumped online and I said, I just feel like buying something weird, and this popped into my head. So, tiny hands. I've also got tiny feet. What impulse purchases have you made? Let me just think on that. And the number 1 spot for weird COVID purchases made on a whim. Why not a parrot? This is my favourite COVID purchase. Meet Albie. So, step up. I'm feeling really weird about the fact that the only words that he could say are a command that we give him. But there you have it. The top 5 buys for COVID.
I think we all need an Albie in our lives, or a pair of those tiny hands. Thanks, Steph. And thank you for joining us for another episode of The Blender. If you liked what you saw, subscribe below for more action from around Australia and beyond. Thanks, guys.
Bye.